morning, everybody. This is Jean here from Truelove Quilts for You, Jean Truelove. I've been working on my tote bag now that I was making with my panel. I had filmed the other day the entire zipper installation. That's where I'm up to, and the lining. But I'm just going to be making this tutorial on how I did my zipper. Quite a lot of people were asking how I do this enclosed zipper type of thing. But I just wanted to tell you, before I get into that, as usual, somebody had commented about my glasses. I finally got my glasses. If you had remembered, I had gone to an eye doctor right before the lockdown in our area, and I had had my eye exam, and I needed these glasses, which are for close up. Why do I have them on? I like these actually. And then I got glasses, I needed 2 pair for far away. So I got those ones for like watching television and for driving, and I haven't used them. I got them not too long ago, about 2.5 weeks ago. I haven't driven, so I don't know what they're going to be like. But these are my ones that I quite like. My one eye was a little bit weak, so I had to get one up from I had to get prescription reader glasses. So I got these glasses. I quite like them. I think they're comfortable. So yeah, so we're having a good day. We just had our Zoom meeting with our congregation, and it was so lovely to see everybody. Jen just texted me, and she said she's going to call me later. We're going to talk later, because it's a little bit difficult on Zoom because there's quite a few other people listening in on your conversation. So she's going to call me. Yeah, so Jen is fine. They got chickens. She got 4 chickens. They live in an area where the county codes actually just relaxed, maybe because it was the COVID-19. So they've gotten 4 chickens. And if you've followed along, Jen has a beautiful old farmhouse. They moved last year, and they had a chicken coop, and she was all anxious to get chickens, so they got her chickens. So anyway, everything is good. Here we're just hunkered down. We're gonna go out and wash my car. Exciting things, right? Not too exciting. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know, with this tutorial, I have finished my bag, but again, there's my bag. But again, I'm going to stop my tutorial at the lining because it's going to go a little bit too long, and then I'll finish up the next tutorial, how I finished my lining. So here's my bag finished, but what I'm going to concentrate on is my zipper. This is my tutorial to follow, and this is the enclosed. This is the zipper that I have made, the sort of this bowl shaped in just a very simple tote bag. I did want to clarify something as you go into my tutorial. This is only the second time I've done it. I'm really proud how it's turned out. It's not hard, I keep saying that. It's not hard, it's fiddly. So maybe for a beginner, it's not that easy, because you're working with a whole bunch of stuff on almost like a curved seam. So it's not beginner friendly. But if you watch the tutorial, again, I go step by step, you will see how I've done it. I did something wrong, and I want to explain it before you, or as you watch the tutorial. I was under the impression that I had to stop my stitching when I was constructing, after I constructed my zipper, after I put my zipper in, the first line, attaching my zipper on the one side. When I put the lining on, I should have started at one end and gone to the other. I started at the zipper end and stopped at the zipper end. I started at the zipper tab and stopped at the zipper end. When you're doing that seam, just sew the whole seam. You will understand, because I sort of realized my mistake when I did the second, when I went to do the second step of this. So you will understand what I'm saying. Sew the entire lining and the front of your fabric together from end to end. Don't start and stop at the zipper. It makes it a lot easier to turn this seam. Again, you will recognize that. I address it because when I went on to do the next step, I had a little bit of difficulty. You see me fiddling about. And I thought, why did I do that? Anyway, it's only the second time I've done it. I'm so thrilled with the way my zipper has turned out. I used my dark blue zipper. I used the dark blue zipper on my bright orange. And I've just put enough, as you will see, I just put enough interfacing in this bag here. My brown bag that I was showing you, I had put the stiffener interfacing all the way to the end, and it made it so very difficult for even my Juki to get through all of those layers of fabric in the seam. I think with the way I've explained it, you can make this quite stiff bag, but with your regular machine. That's what I'm saying. Again, this tutorial, I'm going to stop it right after I've done the zipper. My next tutorial was how I finish my actual lining and finish my actual bag, because my bag is finished, but this tutorial is just for the zipper. So again, my enclosed sort of bowl shaped zipper, it's turned out really well. It takes me a while to explain it, and I go step by step how you pin it, and it's not that hard. You can do it. So I hope you enjoy this little tutorial. We're going to go and hopefully wash our car now for the rest of the day. Everybody says hello, and hope you have a safe and happy day. So we'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye. So I'm going to be working on my zipper to put in my bag here. And as you can see, my zipper is going to be going in here. Before I show you exactly how we're going to sew this, I have cut 4 pieces of fabric. Exactly, this is my lining, exactly the size of my lining, which on this bag is 17 inches wide by 3 inches. Or 17 inches long by 3 inches wide. I have cut 4 of them, okay? That is for this little bucket bag thing. Here's my lining. Now, here's the inside of my bag, and as you know, it's going to be a fully enclosed zipper. I may be making a big song and dance of this, but this is how I think I'm going to get it pretty good. What I've done here temporarily is, as you can see, I've just put some pins in on the end here, and on each end, at exactly, pretty much exactly as it can be, at 1/2 inch. That's very important that you sew your bag, your lining, and your zipper top at exactly the same width. If it's an inch, sew them all an inch. If it's a 1/4 inch, sew them all a 1/4 inch. And the reason I say that, I've sewn my bag 1/2 inch. Here's my 1/2 inch. Because basically what's going to happen is when I sew this, obviously, and make it with the zipper, but this top edge here, this circular edge here, is going to have to meet your circular edge there. So what I've done, sort of just temporarily, is we are going to be matching the side seams up, okay, after your bag is constructed here. After your zipper top is constructed here. I'm just doing this to show you the sort of the science of it. We're going to be matching up these side seams here, and this band that the zipper is going to go in is going to be having to be the exact size of our bag top, okay? And if you've cut that, okay, I'm messing about here, but you can see that this fits perfectly, okay? That will fit perfectly, and that will give us, and then the zipper's in here, that will give us a nice straight seam with hopefully no puckers and things like that. So again, I can't reiterate enough, it's very important that you sew, when it comes to it, we sew this exactly. For me, it's 1/2 inch. For when I construct my lining, it's 1/2 inch, or down over here, it's 1/2 inch, and my bag has been sewn at the 1/2 inch. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart. This was just for to show you. I'm going to take my bits apart, and what I've done, again, I have here, I have 4 pieces that are 17 by 3. I have, now again, the other one that I did, my tote bag, it was a little bit, hold on, where is it? I really should be more prepared. This was very, very stiff. This was very stiff all the way up into this seam allowance here. And that's why I had trouble. There must be 12 layers here. That's why I had trouble sewing it. It's nice and stiff, but I found it's not really, I don't think it's going to be necessary to be that stiffened up. So what I have done is what you want to get is your 4 pieces, and then what I have cut my stabilizer. I am going to sew it on the wrong side of all my bits here. I am going to sew, I'm going to iron, fuse my stabilizer onto the 4 bits. But I cut this much smaller than I did my brown tote bag, my tan tote bag. I had sort of done my stabilizer here like within 1/4 of an inch, but that I found that was all in here, and I don't think I'd want to do that now. So I have cut my stabilizer, as you can see, quite a bit smaller than I think it's about 14 inches by 2 inches, maybe even. I might cut that down even a little bit, because I really don't want the stabilizer in this top seam here. I just, because we're going to have about 4 or 5 layers anyway without the stabilizer in. So I might cut that down just slightly, but whatever. I'm going to fuse that. Then what you're going to be needing is for this, I'm putting a 14-inch zipper. I'm using my 14-inch polyester zipper, and as you can see, I'm using my blue zipper. I think it'll be pretty. It'll have the orange sort of bowl lined here, but then my blue zipper, just to add a little bit of punch. So what I'm going to go do now is I think I'm just going to slightly cut these down even a little bit more, just slightly, and then I'm going to fuse them. I'm going to fuse each one onto the back side of my my zipper thing, and then I'll go over to the machine. So I'm over at my machine, having fused my fusible onto the back of my 4 pieces, and I want to show you what I'm doing now. I'm using my 14-inch zip, and as you can see on my 17-inch long piece, I have placed my zipper teeth down. The teeth are down, okay? The zipper tab is up here. And why I've done these clips on here is I want to make sure that I have the same amount of fabric on each side, so my zipper doesn't shift. My zipper's obviously shorter than my piece, so I have about 1 inch on each side and the top. Now what I've done here is I've not put on my zipper foot. I'm not going to put on my zipper foot. I don't find it necessary. So what I'm going to do is I've clipped it well there, and I'm just going to bring my teeth down, my tab down, and I'm going to put my needle down so this doesn't shift. I'm going to put my needle down and bring my presser foot down, and with the edge of the zip riding right along the raw edge of this piece of fabric, I'm just going to start sewing this back stitch. And there's a line that you can see, if you can't see, it's about a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch away. I'm just going to start sewing that on, and then with my needle down right there, I'm going to bring my presser foot up. I'm going to carefully hold this, carefully close that zipper. Just push it right up under my needle. There you go. And then I'm going to put my zipper, my presser foot down, and I'm just going to continue sewing. Just go slowly, nice and straight. The whole purpose of this zipper application is that the zipper is enclosed in its own little sort of a bowl package. So now that hasn't shifted at all. I'm going to come here and I am going to back stitch my zipper on right to the end there. Okay, and up here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of my fabric here, and the idea is to sandwich. The idea is to sandwich on this side. We're going to be sandwiching one side of our zipper. Okay, I'll show you that. And again, I'm going to make sure that this is I've cut these exactly the same exact size. So I want to make sure with my clips, this is very important, that this is nice and perfectly on each end, sandwiching my zipper in between. So I'll put clip on the end there. Oops, there we go. And right along here. Now, because we've already sewn our zipper on, what we can do is we can turn this upside down. And there is my stitching. There is my stitching that I've already done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at that stitching. I'm going to put my needle down, and I'm just going to do it slightly on the inside, just a little bit closer to the teeth. But again, I find I don't need to have my zipper foot on. I'm just going to do it just slightly closer. Again, you can feel the teeth. You're not going to be sewing over your teeth. You just want to keep this nice and straight. You're even at your raw edges. Just go slowly. Sort of following that first line of stitching, putting your edges together. Now again, I'm going to come to about there, put my needle down, press the foot up. I'm going to open up my zipper tab. I'm going to open up that zipper. Just get it past, there you go, get it past the presser foot. Keep this on here like that, press the foot down, and then I can just stitch that zipper on without any problem of hitting my zipper tab. And I'll just stitch it to there. And then we have on one side an enclosed zipper. There we go. We have an enclosed zipper. All right? Beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you can by all means go over to your iron and press these two bits down. You want to get them nice and straight. It's very important that your edges meet here. Okay? We've sewn them perfectly. We've cut them perfectly. Okay? Because now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be top stitching. We're going to be top stitching this from the top of the zipper. We're going to just pull this down slightly from the top of that zipper, and I will just back stitch a little bit right along there, about 1/8 of an inch, just to secure. Make sure everything's straight, just to secure this zipper down. Press your foot up, and then I'll just continue making sure it's really nice, just a nice top stitch. I'm using a pinkish thread for my top stitching. So this is one side of our little bucketed zipper thing, and I will back stitch there. Now we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side of our zip. Okay, lovely. We're going to take another piece of our fabric, and we're going to make sure that the edges are really sewn down, or in the proper place. Okay, in the proper place. Exactly, the edges matching. It's very important. Very important. You're sewing. You're placing that raw seam. Placing that raw seam. Now we are going to be sewing the other side because we want to be able to see the zipper. So there we go. Now there is our zipper where we're going to be sewing. Okay, you have that. We're still sewing. The teeth are still down. Okay, but we're sewing at this end, and this end, whoops, is just in the right place. And I'm going to start at the zipper end, and I'm going to back stitch my zipper on, and again sew that down. And again, we're going to be sandwiching this zipper in between the two pieces of pink fabric here. Again, I'm going to put my needle down, presser foot up, and I'm going to open my zipper up past that presser foot. And again, we're going to be sandwiching this zipper. It's so pretty. I love the blue. We're going to be sandwiching this zipper again. So we take our last piece of zipper thing, and we're going to be putting it, again, we're sandwiching the zipper, right? So, let me just see. All right. So we're going to be putting the right sides together. The zipper is on the inside, okay? And if you want to figure it out, the zipper's on the inside, so this is the look we're going for, okay? So that zipper's on the inside, we're sandwiching the zipper, and again, you want to make sure that your edges are matched perfectly. Now, by all means, if you would want to take a measurement of the exact middle of your zipper, the exact middle of your pieces, you could do that also, to make sure that everything is exactly in place. And then again, we're going to be stitching on the other side where we can see our stitches. So here are our stitches. Raw edges are together, starting there. Slightly inside. My zipper pull is down here, so I don't have to worry about it for this minute. Just slightly closer to the zipper teeth, making sure that my zipper pull's going to be out of the way. So I'll put my needle down, presser foot up, and I'll reach in and I'll close that zipper. There we go. And then I'll just finish. I do like these clips, I must say. I like these clips. And then right to the end of the zipper. And off. There you go. So if you pull this bottom bit out, our zipper is enclosed. And again, if you want to go over to your ironing board, but I don't find that necessary at this point, because we've cut it, we've sewn it perfectly. These edges are right together. It's exactly how you want them. That's very important. And then we're going to open up this zipper just a bit to get started here with the top stitching. I'm going to top stitch about 1/8 of an inch away. Needle down. Making sure everything is lovely and smoothed. That's the whole point of it. These edges are matching. And then top stitch to the end of the zipper. And done. So there's our lovely zipper that you'll see on the top as you look down my bag. Now I'm going to go over and iron that real well, and I do believe I'm going to top stitch here, but I might do that afterwards. I have to figure out what I'm going to do now. But for now, I'm just going to go over to my ironing board and iron that really well. So here's my finished little thing here. I had to figure it out, and I sort of did. I did something wrong. So if you're doing this, you want to sew your seam all the way to the end. I completely forgot about that. Sew your seam right off to the end. Okay. I I was trying to figure out, again, this is only the second time I've done it. I forgot I had to sew off my seam, not my top stitching, but my seam, okay? Because now it's just a little bit funky for me. But if you're doing that, what you want to do now is you're going to be picking up, this is the right side, the pretty side. You may have a different color lining. It might make it a little bit easier visually, but my lining is the same. But I'm picking up the proper side, the right side. Here's the top of my zipper. This is what you're going to be seeing. What I'm going to be picking up, I'm going to be picking up the two top edges here, okay? And I'm going to be matching them. Again, it would be a lot easier if I had sewn that seam, but I can figure it out. I'm going to be putting the pretty side of my fabric to the pretty side of my fabric on the top side, and then I'm going to be turning that over. Here's my lining, okay? Now, it would be easier if I had sewn these seams, but your seams will go to the end. But I'm going to sort of press them open. I'm going to sort of finger press them open. It's okay. It's all right. So do as I say, not as I do. I'm going to put a clip there, matching this side here. Actually, matching that up there. It's a little bit awkward because I didn't sew to the end, but we want to match those seams. That's the important part. You want to match these seams here. Put a clip there. It'll be easier when you have the sewn all the way to the end, obviously. Mine's a little bit messed about here. These seams are both opened, okay? Not open like mine, but like pressed open. So you're just going to start, and then you're going to sew. This is where it's very important that this is your 1/2 inch. For me, this is my 1/2 inch. My seam is 1/2 inch. My seams are 1/2 inch. So I'm going to sew that there. I can figure this out like that. As I said, it would have been much easier had I sewn that seam closed. But they are matched. My edges are, let me see, are a bit matched. Yeah. So be careful that you sew this. Pull this up here, like that. And sew it about 1/2 inch. Not quite. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to sew that again. I know you don't have to, but I'm going to, just to reinforce, especially since I sort of messed up there. I'm going to go back and I'm going to sew that across that seam, across that zipper. I might have a little hole in my zipper because I messed up, but I should have sewn that all the way to the end, but that's okay. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side, matching up that opened seam, okay? You have to match that seam up. And again, yours will be closed, so it'll be much, much easier. So I'm going to start there, 1/2 inch. It's easier if I do it that way for me. And then again, that's matched up. Yours will be closed. I made a bit of a mess of this, but that's okay. Doesn't quite match there. Doesn't quite match, but never mind. It is, as I said, it's not hard, but as I said before, it's fiddly. So don't do as I do there. Make sure you've done it properly there on that seam. But I think it's going to turn out. And then I do it a second time. Now I'm going to go turn this and I'll show you what we have. So this is what we end up with. All right, we've sewn our ends together, and again your seam will be closed there, okay? Make it a little bit easier. But this is what we want to end up with. So what I've done is how we've sewn it. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be sewing. Here is the wrong side, or as I said, here's my zipper in here, okay? There's my zipper in there. And what we're going to be doing is on each end, we're going to be turning this. We've sewn it already, Okay, we've sewn it properly. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be turning this seam, this bit here that we've sewn, so that this seam, it's on the proper side of the zipper, is facing. You're going to sort of push these out to a triangle state. That seam there, right there, is going to be exactly in the middle of your zipper teeth. Okay, you got that? That seam there on this side, forget that over there. This side here, that seam is going to be on your zipper teeth. Okay, you're going to center that really well and press that down. And then you're going to be clipping that there. Oh, there's an ant. Oh, dear little ant. Oh, look. Let me just, oh, ant juice all over my sewing machine. So then you're going, so there, that seam right there, from the point to the zipper teeth, is exactly centered. So sort of crease this seam here, crease that edge. Now you're going to turn it around. You're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, okay? You're going to open up that seam. You're going to finger press that seam open, and you're going to line that seam right up with the back of the zipper teeth. And then you're going to pull this out nicely, pull that out nicely, so it's a nice triangle. And then you're going to clip it. Sorry, I'm making a bit of a mess here. So you're going to clip it, okay? So that is nice, that's perfect, and that's perfect, okay? Now you can just sort of clip them together, and you have a lovely, they should be almost perfect. You're doing a lovely point there. You see that? Okay? Now what you're going to do with your zipper configuration here, right on the, if you have a nice line, a nice ruler on your machine, what you're going to do is, you might have to take out a few of the clips. You're going to find 3 inches on a ruler, okay? You're going to find your 3-inch on your ruler mark here. I'm going to put that down there and bring that up there. Now here's my 3 inches on my ruler. There's my 3-inch mark. And you're going to go down until your point of your ruler hits the 3-inch mark there on your triangle, keeping it nice and straight. Keep this pit nice and straight. So you're going to do a nice straight line from your point there to 3 inches over there. Okay, and with a marker, keeping this nice and straight, this is nice and straight here, you're going to do a marker, do a line there, okay? Now we are going to sew on that line. We're going to sew right on that line. Now, because my marker is a little bit bigger, I'm going to sew a little bit inside, because the marker's made it slightly smaller, as you can see. So I'm just going to start about 1/8 of an inch inside that marker line. Go slowly. Now you will be going over the teeth, so go slowly. There you go. This is a nylon zipper, so you should have no problem. And back stitch. And then what am I gonna do? Yeah, you know. Actually, I'm just gonna turn that right around like that, and I'm going to go back over, and I'm going to stitch it again. Because I think, slowly, I think there's going to be a little bit of wear and tear on the end of your zip. There you go. And back stitch. This is sort of making the bowl that our little zipper area is going to fit in. Okay? There you go. I'm going to do the exact same thing to this side, but right now you want to make sure that you open up your zipper a little bit better, okay? Just a little bit. You're going to be opening up these seams here. Oops, that didn't fuse. Look at that. So I have to go back and fuse that down. So I'm going to be opening up the zipper, and I'm going to be finding the exact center of my zip there, making sure this is nice and down. This triangle is nice over there and over there. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Flip that around. Bring it down. Open that seam up. So it's just right centered. Centered right there. Have to go fuse that down. And then you should have two fairly identical triangles on either side. Nice and smooth. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to make sure that's straight. I'm going to go over and I'm going to mark my 3-inch marker, and I'm going to sew across there. Now I'm sewing my I've marked this here, and I just want you to see, I just want you to realize you want to make sure you can either have that opened or closed. You want to make sure that your zipper teeth are next to each other and not overlapping at this point. So I have felt under there. My zipper teeth are right next to each other on the zipper pull there. They're not overlapping. Again, I'm going to go slowly. And again, I'm just slightly inside of that marked line, because my line takes up a bit. So I'm just going to finish this up. So now I've sewn my both ends, and now is the time where you're going to trim this bit off. Okay, this is too much bulk here, so we're going to trim that. I will trim that off to 1/4 inch. You are cutting through your zipper top. That's fine. And then I'm going to do this end here, and I'll be cutting through my zipper bottom. About 1/4 inch. Throw away all that stuff there. Now I'm going to find the top of your zipper. Here's the top of my zipper. And we're going to be pulling these, the ends together. I'm going to pull that up, that little dart there, that little boat shape. Okay, hopefully this will work out. This little boat shape there on both sides. Yeah. There you go. And there's that little sort of almost like a boxed corner inside. Bring this one in, turn this one proper side out, and poke those edges out as much as you can. Poke them together. Okay, push them right in together. That edge there, okay? That edge there. Now, since I'm pretty pleased with that. Yeah, pretty pleased with that. Very much. So there is the top of my bag, okay? And you see that little boat shape that we've made. Now, to make it easier to handle, what you're wanting to do now is to put match up your side seams here really well. And since we've sewn it and cut it really nice and stabilized it, you can see that these raw edges are going together beautifully. They're going together beautifully. And what I'm going to do is I'm making sure that those seams are open there and matched up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, I'm going to top stitch this. I'll just start sort of here. I'm going to just top stitch it about 1/8 inch along, and just holding these two edges together. It's going to get a little bit awkward coming to this little boat thing here, but just lift up your fabric, stitch at a time. This is just to make the whole piece one. There's our seam there. Sorry, my fingers are in the way, but I have to manipulate my fabric. There you go. And as I said, this is just to make this as one. Because when we attach it to the lining or to our bag, it needs to be just one piece. But look at that. What do you think? I think I'm doing really a good job. I'm real pleased with myself. Zip those seams are together. Again, it's just a little bit awkward, but it's not hard, as you can see. I've been doing it in front of you. There you go. So now what I've done is I've just made them together. So there, look at that. There's my little, See, it's nice and stiff right here, but it's not stiff there, which I like, because now we're going to be sewing it into our bag. So what I'm going to go over, I'm going to hit that with another iron, because we've been messing with it. Make sure my stabilizer is nice and tucked in there. And there's my zipper. Look, it goes to the end. As you can see right there, hopefully you can see it, my zipper teeth are together. They're not overlapped. So that was important. And then my zipper teeth are here. They're not overlapped or anything, and it goes right to the end there. So now what we have to do is I'm going to just go over and press that really well again, and we're going to go and put this into. So here, as you can see, I have my lovely little bold enclosed zip unit here. This is what you're going to be seeing, and this is the back side, all lined beautifully. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn this so that the zipper is on the wrong side, okay? We're going to make that little bowl so the zipper is facing down, all right? The zipper is facing down. This is the lining bit. Now, as you can see, I have turned my bag inside out, okay? And there's my little tabs. I've taken my handles off. By all means, if you don't have your handles, keep your handles tucked in. Now, what you want to do is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be matching up this side, this edge around here with this edge here. Now remember we marked it half an inch very carefully. So what I'm going to do is it feels a little bit like, is it gonna fit? I mean, at first I thought, what? So what I'm doing is I'm matching that side seam of my little bag with the teeth down. I'm going to open that up a little bit. There you go. And with the side seam there, okay, on either side of that. And then I'm not going to work my way around. I'm going to go to the other end, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to match up this side seam here with the seams of my little concealed zip here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift it down about 1/4 inch. I'm going to find that edge, and then I'm just going to shift it down. Found that. Just about 1/4 inch. Maybe not even. Then I can just, with my tabs down, I can just start putting my clips in. The reason I'm doing it about 1/4 inch down from the top is, again, we're going to be putting our lining there. We're going to be turning it. We're going to hopefully be top stitching it. But as you can see, it matches up beautifully. About 1/4 inch down. I don't have a lot of stuff in there. Remember that? I don't have a lot of fabric in there. I don't have a lot of stabilizer. So it makes it much easier. I know a lot of people have the stabilizer up there, but maybe they have heavy duty machines. This is if you don't have a heavy duty machine, you just have an older machine or a newer machine. Older machines usually are better. You just want to make sure that that's about 1/4 inch down. Again, my hands are in the way, must excuse me. But that, and again, I'm coming to my tabs there. And you want to make sure they're nice and straight. You want to make sure they're not like skewed, that they're nice and straight. You want to take this really, really easy here. Okay, and you can see that my thing, it's fiddly. Again, it's not hard, right? It's not hard, but it's fiddly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue clipping this. Some of my clips came off. Make sure my tab is in. And that's the reason we made this orange piece, this pink piece, as one. Can you imagine messing about with layers and layers of this unit here? That's why we did that. But as you can see, look how beautifully that fits. We've made sure that our seam allowances are exactly the same. I'm all thumbs today. Anyway, you get the point. I'm all thumbs today. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do, really am. It's all falling apart on me. What in the world's going on here? So anyway, my clips, I'm going to blame it on these stupid clips. They're not working real good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my machine and I'm going to stitch that down right on pretty much about I would go down probably about half an inch. There's about a 1/4 inch there and the 1/4 inch. I'm going to go down about half an inch on this seam, making sure that I reinforce my tabs. It's going to be awkward, so I'm just going to tell you that that's what I'm going to do. You're just going to clip this or pin it really well, just about 1/4 inch down, and then I'm going to finish this, and then we're going to attach our line. So I have sewn in this zippered thing here, my compartment here, with my zipper teeth down, and I didn't film myself because my hands are all in the way, because to get into here, it's not hard, but you're having to push this away, making sure your fabric is nice and smooth there, which I've accomplished pretty good. I've gone over, been very careful to keep my D-rings, as I was saying, out of the way. I've gone over that, and I've gone around it twice, and mine fits almost perfect. I'm really, really thrilled at that. So now I'll just put that to the side for a moment.